Boys? What up, Chicago? This is Sean Kiez, your friendly player partner, broadcasting live with my man Jimmie Sykes.
For sure.
And out of H-Town right now, just trying to get this Can't Stop Tippin going. We just been moving, been grinding, so it's always a treat when players meet. Here we are today.
For sure, heard that, man.
Yeah, man.
Most
so
definitely.
just me, just trying to get it up, just trying to spread the awareness of the brand. For Sean Kiez, just get this record going and lead to the next. Hopefully y'all can follow along with this journey. So that's where we at.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So since we on the act of Can't Stop Tippin and everything, we could just go ahead and just jump right into how did you create that joint and in the action of actually pushing this joint.
Well, how did I create it? So what I did was one of my producers is in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
So went out there with him to record, to work on my album, actually. So I was like, man, I don't want nothing that's just like two strong records on the album. Everything on the album needs to sound like a single. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we did. So you know how fighters go out there to train in Vegas? I went out there to go train with this music. So we just locked in the studio for a week and just came out with nothing but bangers, and we got plenty more to come. And shout out to RJ2. He a Grammy Award winning producer of Beats How You Want Them. He got a Grammy off the Carter 3 album. Yeah, you mix his style with my style, and here you go.
For sure. So you say like how boxers go out to Vegas and train. So would you consider that period like an artist development period for you?
Yeah, it was. It was because I was already I had already released some records.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, okay, I want to dive more into building my sound, my own personal sound. So then it just started from there. Like we just worked together to get it going. And y'all heard I did one record with Filthy Rich. It was Scared Money.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I did Addicted with Juicy Fruit, prior to. So it's like everything that comes behind that has got to be stronger and better. So that's where we at with it.
For sure. And we could just take it back to the beginning, man. Talk about your start in music and like growing up and because you from Houston, right?
No, actually, originally from Milwaukee, right?
Oh, okay,
not too far from Chicago. Yeah.
Man, we
yeah.
NBA playoffs, man. You already know.
We beefing right now, but it's still all love,
Yeah. So we down 3-1. That's something else for another day. But yeah, that's cool. So you went to Houston. When did you go to Houston?
Shoot, man. I actually moved to Houston from LA. So first when I got out, went to LA. But I had been to Houston once before, and then I ended up coming back like right before the pandemic started. Something was like, man, it's time to go back to Houston.
Oh yeah.
And just so I can build, you know what I'm saying? Because you know how LA is, there's so much going so fast. So I just came back to Houston and damn, pandemic hit. So when the pandemic hit, I'm like, well, everybody's sitting around looking crazy. I might as well jump back in and start putting some records out. That's what we did.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So the pandemic gave you that extra motion, like when everything was shutting down and sitting still.
Yep. Yeah. So who was willing to come out for production to shoot videos? We got all of them to come out. So it was just a good time. We was able to help like 100 people. We was able to help employ 100 people, just for production crews and actors and actresses and dancers and all that type of stuff throughout the pandemic. So
okay, gotcha. That's dope. Yeah, and I heard also when I was reading up on you, I seen something like you used to play piano when you was younger.
Yeah.
So that's where the keys came from. The keys.
There you go.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie, I was wondering. I'm like, Sean, I was gonna ask Eric. I'm like, is it Kiez or Keys? Then when I seen piano, I'm like, it got to be Keys.
Yeah. It's Keys, and then for the Keys is Keep It Easy though. Sean, Keep It Easy, but it's from the Keys.
Oh, that's dope. That's
dope right. Appreciate you.
With that early starting music, like doing playing instruments, doing other things in music, was it like you growing up around a music oriented family, or?
Yeah, I did. Grew up in church as we all did. Well, a lot of us did. So I played the drums and piano at church. My mom would sing. My dad had a jazz band. One of my uncles, he managed a band. So, you know, it's just been around for years. And then my god brother, my older brother, and my older sister, you know, they laced me with the new rap, you know what I'm saying? Because I was too young to listen to it. So they had me by a couple of years. So I was always fed what was new and what was current. So
Gotcha. What was some of your earliest influences for music? Like what type of artists you used to listen to and everything growing up?
Growing up, I would have to say like, let me see. Rap, you know, in the Midwest, we do a lot of R&B and slow songs and stuff like that. So of course, you know, like your Prince, your Luther Vandross, your Bill Withers, and then it went into like the Tupac and all that other stuff. Crucial Conflict actually was one of the groups I used to listen to back in the day too.
Oh, yeah.
And Twisted, that Adrenaline Rush, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, the middle school days. So, you know, yeah, man. So that's pretty much it. But started off, it was more the R&B, the funk. You know, that's when I fell in love with the music back to, you know, the old school.
For sure. And do you tie a lot of those influence into your music today?
I try my best to because that's the core of what we all fell in love with. So I try to represent it back into the music that I make with my own style, you know.
Yeah, gotcha. So talk about like, because you jumped from Milwaukee to LA to Houston, then like that's so many levels of different styles of influences, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So talk about developing your sound, jumping into like new time zones, new regions.
Well, you know, on the West Coast, the way that they come with their lyrics is real raw, right? And it's like a rebel, you know, because they say whatever. You remember, I don't know how this platform is, if we can use profanity or not, but
you say.
I'm good. Okay, yeah. So you know how Snoop and them was bitches ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day. So you come from them spilling that level of ism, and then that bouncer down south with like your 3-6 and all of that, and then your old school Master P with No Limit, just how they remix stuff. So you had a different, for me, culturally, and then growing up in the Midwest, you know, we get a little bit of everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we getting East Coast, we getting down south, you know, with the UGK, Bun B and them, and then you getting everything that Death Row was doing and, you know, everybody else that was coming off the West. So it was kind of easy to go into those different arenas because we had already grew up listening to their sound. You know what I'm saying? So it's just learning that turf culture, just being on their land and learn that culture. But, you know, it kind of benefited coming from the Midwest.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It seemed like with the Midwest, too, we do catch a little bit of everything, you know, even though we do got our own originating sound, and especially it's more prevalent nowadays, being from the Midwest. I feel like it paid off, you know, because a lot of for a long time with music, it was East Coast, West Coast, and you got the South originated. Then I feel like during these days, more of the Midwest influence get that recognition that it deserves, you know. For real. So
because I mean, like, not to cut you off, but
no, you good.
One of the coldest producers, writers, singers is from Chicago, Robert Kelly. Regardless of whatever he done did, can't nobody touch that man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So it is what it is.
For sure. So jumping from LA to Houston, now being in Houston, what's some of the things that you see with their music scene and everything?
I mean, you know, they got so many people that's in this culture here to where they honestly don't go out of region a lot to be successful. You figure like Chicago or LA, I'm gonna just give LA because you asked that specific question. So LA, they project to the rest of the world. You know, they still can go platinum in their own little region too, you know, because they got Arizona right there, and then you got Vegas, and then you got the whole strip of Cali.
Right.
So they could still actually tour and do all this stuff right there in their own region. But the South, they kind of stay, that I noticed in Houston, they stay in this hub. So it's really not like, you know, you got your Travis Scotts and all of them that's out of Houston. your Beyonce, but those are the international bigger artists. But you got some of the legacy acts that really ain't tripping on mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
They look at, out the trunk and doing different stuff like they did back in the day. And then as long as they could tour in this area right here, which is, your Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, they can eat. But LA, they look at the rest of the world as their playground. So they trying to project out further. And that's the difference in the hustle that I noticed, because you got the entertainment capital and then you got the fourth largest city in America.
Right.
That's doing music. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's two interesting markets to be tapped into as well,
Yeah.
Like growing up for me, my favorite rap group was always UGK, followed by Outkast, like right after, So
yeah.
Man, and I listen to a lot of UGK music, but I personally never been to Houston just yet, So
right.
Really, I just want to ask, like, how is their influence still like real prevalent out there?
Still heavy. That is H-Town.
Sure.
UGK, Devin the Dude. I mean, Slim Thug and all of them, but that what you would think that's H-Town is UGK, Devin, that whole vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, of course, you're chopped and screwed, but they still lead it. I mean, they helped raise us. They gave you a lot of game. Pimp C and Bun B gave a lot of game out.
Yeah, for so long. Still prevalent game to this day. That's still, if you turn that music on right now, some stuff they say still go over people's heads right now. And they think they got everything figured out. They were saying this back in 95, 96, and it's still going over here. So definitely salute them. Could you see yourself doing a track with like a Trader Truth or a Slim Thug or Bun B or somebody?
I could. I see it. I mean, we in the same market right now. I mean, I'm home. This is home base for me. So, I see a collab in the future. One of my good mans that's out here is Mike Jones.
Oh, yeah.
He was he was in one of my what was he, the top selling before Travis Scott? He was like the top selling artist out of Houston. So, he want to do a record. We just ain't had the time to lock in and get it done. But I've never met like Trader Truth and all of them yet.
Oh yeah, most definitely. So back to your endeavors, man. So you went to South by Southwest already, correct?
Yes, I did.
How was your experience there and performing and pushing your craft there?
It was different. You know what I'm saying? It was good. Because you got, to be honest with you, I don't know. I got a management background too. So the first time I ever went, I took a client as a manager, right? So you remember Jodeci, you remember JoJo from KC and JoJo? So we was managing JoJo and his daughter. So she's an artist too, which is on that new show now. What's the name of that show? Growing Up Hip Hop.
Okay.
So we took her out there. So then going as an artist, it's a way total different vulnerable experience because now you can't wear the executive hat. You got to put on your artist hat. So it's more of it was humbling and it was good. So, you got a bunch of other artists that's trying to do their campaign. So you got to really make sure you stick in everybody's mind when you do your thing. So I had to bring the show, you know what I'm saying? I made sure everything was ready and right. And we showed up and showed out.
So from what I heard with South by Southwest, like you were saying, it's real big on campaigning. Like you got people there that's trying to get their foot in the door and really make their impression. I believe that was the place where the baby he walked in a pamper, right?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that was a big break for him, and that was his brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So talk about like something you branded there. Did you go down there with Can't Stop Tippin?
I went out there with Can't Stop Tippin. Actually,
pushing?
It was pushed pretty good. Core DJs, it was Shade 4-5 and Shade 4-5, Sirius XM, and Core DJs. They had a stage. So I performed on their stage. What was that? The first night, like Thursday night. So it did very well. It was received very well. So now we're getting support from the Core to help push the record too a little bit. And as far as like my set, I don't think nobody else is really fucking with my set. So
hey, speak on
it is what it is, So we had everything right. We rehearsed, we was ready to go, you know what I'm saying? So it's time to execute. we ain't come to play no games because it's a business at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So we spoke on artist development, and again, you just spoke on like rehearsing beforehand. How important is those things? And another second part to that question, do you believe that like your background with management helps you prepare for these type of moments? Because you've seen artists prepare for these moments.
Of course. My background definitely helped because you get to know the business behind what you're doing versus just moving in your emotion. But it's good to direct your emotion and your dream. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to prepare. You got to be prepared. You got to rehearse. You got to be overly prepared because anything might happen. So then that's when you improvise. You get what I'm saying? And some people hop out there and just do a set and do a show, and they really not ready as far as prepared, and they still kill it and do good. But my perspective and experience, it's better to be organized because you want to be in sync, like one band, one sound type vibe. You know what I'm saying? Because you never really know who watching. You never know who looking. You can use your footage to market towards different booking agents to different levels of other stuff because you got that content now to rebrand yourself even outside of that moment to place in somebody else's face. So you got to take advantage of each opportunity that you can to be ready and right.
That's real talk. And I like what you say, you never know who's watching, because that's actually, man, that's one of the biggest lessons I learned being here at iLLANOiZE. Like, a lot of times you would think like, man, this something if it's an error, this something I could just, throw away. But this error that you displaying, this might be something that, that could be your break. So like always, like you say, over preparing and just making sure you straight, man, because ain't no, like you say, ain't no telling who really out there watching you. So like what's a moment that you just had to like, you fully improvise like a situation that was going on and it worked out for the best?
A moment that I fully improvised. Man, there be so much stuff going on.
For real. I already know.
Let me see. Fully improvised and it worked out. I remember no, I can't say that, but fully improvised and it worked out. I don't know, man. It's so much stuff that be going on all the time. It's just like you figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't give you like one instance right now. Yeah, but it's like a lot of times stuff just be happening and you just gotta like roll with it and just be ready to roll with it.
Oh, yeah, got to talk about being with the Formula ENT and how your experience been with them so far.
It's been good. Yeah, it's been pretty good. I'm actually co-owner of the Formula.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So it's been pretty good, man. We've helped a lot of artists get a lot of bags along the way. We've helped break a lot of artists. We've helped build a lot of brands. We helped brand a lot of artists that had recognition but needed to be rebranded to be represented out. Because you could be a legacy artist, but people that's in their 20s and late teens, they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? So we got to put you back, rebrand you and put you back in their face. You know what I'm saying? Or put you with a brand that's going to help bring you a bag so you can take care of the things you need to take care of on your personal side to rebuild you as an artist. So, and that's just the stuff we do. And that's why we call that stuff the Formula too, because it's a formula to everything. What they say, a method to the madness. So that's pretty much it.
No, yeah, that's pretty dope, man. And that's a big aspect of music as well. Just rebranding yourself, especially when like one thing don't work, that don't mean it's the end of the world. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
For real. And then do you ever run into like an artist that like you really want to help, but like they don't feel like the shoe necessarily fitting, like they feel like their way is good, but you telling them it's like it's something else, something else that can be better for them?
All the time. We ran into that a lot. And done brought deals to the table for them that'd be beneficial. And then they'd go and do a deal on their own, and then it don't work out in their favor. They get robbed, they get beat up with that paperwork. Paperwork is key and important. So you got to make sure whoever on your team and whatever you're doing, that paperwork got to be legit. Get you an attorney if you don't know nobody that understand contracts, and go get an attorney first, even if you got somebody on your side, because you need to make sure they legally got to make sure that they do their best. you know, because they took an oath for that. So, you know what I'm saying? We just out here doing business. They took a legal oath to really stand up on your behalf. So, and they trying to get paid too, you know, so they might push it through, but they go at least make it somewhat beneficial for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So for the remaining of the year, you say you got more tracks and everything on the way. Are you anticipating a project by any chance for an album?
Yeah, you know, we're working on that Boss Life. The Boss Life is the album that should be coming out. And then we got the Book of Keys coming out after that. But we still got some more singles that we finna drop, you know. So it's gonna be an eventful spring, well, summer, and going to fall. And then by the fall, we should be dropping the album.
Yeah, most definitely. Any shows or anything lined up for you?
We working on some dates now. I don't actually have the calendar with me, but we are working on some dates. And for the promoters out there that want to get on board, you know, holla at us. We ready.
Yeah, most definitely.
Y'all holla at Jimmie, and then Jimmie will get with us, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah, most definitely. We got to get y'all out in Chicago, man.
That'll work. I love the Shy. Let's do it.
So have you ever been out here, actually?
Yeah, I've been to the Shy a few times.
Yeah,
you know, I'm your next door neighbor on the other side, so it's like, yeah.
Most definitely. Next time y'all out here, we definitely got to get y'all, you know, in the station, actually, you know.
Yeah, that'll be good. We with it. For
sure. So like with everything going on with you in music, like what's your end goal to like what you trying to accomplish in music? Because like I say all the time, man, I feel like music don't get that sustainable career title that it should. You know, this is actually a great career for a lot of people. A lot of people live decent off of it. It ain't all about the glamour and glitz. It's about actually having a sustainable life, and I feel like it's cool with music. So like, what's your end goal with it?
Well, my end goal, man, is to be able to still take care of my family at 75 years old, to go do a legacy tour and still be able to knock them out. You know what I'm saying? So outside of just being a rapper, I'm making real music as a recording artist. So I won't limit my audience later on and be stuck in a time capsule.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's it. Just be able to take care of my family, man, and die empty. Die empty, and then release everything that I could give to the world and be happy with that. So that's it. As an old man.
Most definitely. I heard that, man. And I heard you spoke on like legacy and like legacy artists. What makes like a legacy artist or something artist worthwhile to you?
Well, of course they catalog and their stewardship that they did along the way. You know, you got some people who's got a long catalog, but they really ain't worth much as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that you do, that the good things that you do that people can't see is what define you as a legend. You get what I'm saying? So, and then on top of that, having some great material that people can enjoy along this journey of life and the background of their lifestyle or their life or whatever that they going through. So a Prince was a legend. Michael Jackson was a legend. You get what I'm saying? Absolutely. Luther Vandross was a legend. You got, those are legends to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So with
Tupac, legend.
Most definitely. So with everything lining up, man, what's more things that we can expect outside of like shows and everything we just talked about for this year?
Hopefully being in the community, you know what I'm saying, bringing awareness to all the social issues that we got going on as much as I possibly can. Giving back to the kids. I'm really about the kids, man, and they mental health, they physical health, because I was once one of those kids too. So hopefully just from the Midwest to wherever I'm at, I mean, even out of the country, we try to help give back and do what we can for different kids, man, because they can't be forgotten. They tomorrow. We right here, right now. So it's our duty to make sure that they make it till tomorrow, because we gonna need them later. You know what I'm saying?
We definitely gonna need them.
Yeah.
So, what you about to say?
No, that's it. It's just our responsibility. You know what I'm saying? They belong to us. It's a community effort.
And so how can artists get in tune with like the Formula ENT if they want to get on board with y'all?
Just reach out to Erica and or reach out to myself. Send us an email, info@theformula, or hit my DM, or hit Erica at the Formula DM, And then we just tap in from there. Somebody go get back with you soon. Even if it's not me, you should have an email or whatever. Info at the formulaent.com, I believe it is. And somebody will get with you, one of the assistants or another manager, somebody will be able to holler at you.
Most definitely. How do y'all go about like developing artists and make sure they can become the best version of themselves?
Well, they gotta first believe in themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We can't develop a plant that's ready to die. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so you gotta believe in yourself first off and foremost. You gotta understand that the work is gonna come from you. You know, we can only help push and put you in the right position, but you got to be willing to put the work in. Like even me, I had to start from zero as just putting out music in the beginning of a pandemic to now, just to build my brand back up. It don't matter who I work with. It don't matter who I manage. It don't matter. I done put tours together and been on tour. None of that matters. It's about right now, today, the work that you're willing to put in, and that's what it's all about. And I'm not here to compete with nobody but me. So bring great music, bring great content. You know, we looking for different videographers that's dope, dancers that's dope, other writers that's dope, other producers that's dope. You know what I'm saying? All media that's dope because it's all our culture. That's all a part of us. So let's just work together and make it move.
Absolutely. And before we cut out of here, man, just plug in everything, man, streaming sites, social media handles, and how people can connect with you.
Social media, Instagram at SeanKiez, Sean Kiez. And then on TikTok, I believe it's Sean Kiez Official on TikTok. And then on Apple Music and Vivo and all that stuff, it's just simply old Sean Kiez, SeanKiez. See y'all when I see y'all.